top stories. Muslim faithful across Cameroon observe the Feast of Sacrifice with strong appeals for national unity and peaceful coexistence. While Yaounde's imams prayed for peace before, during and after the upcoming elections, worshippers in Bamenda launched a fundraising drive to build an Islamic complex to secure their prayer site from encroachment. The event was marked by interfaith harmony, spiritual reflections, and community feasting. Panic swept through Yaounde's Mvogada neighborhood after a gas leak from a tanker truck caused multiple explosions and a devastating fire. Several shops were destroyed, but emergency services have since brought the blaze under control. An investigation is underway. In response to the Newcastle disease threat, Cameroon has initiated a mass vaccination campaign targeting nearly 1 million birds. The efforts aimed to protect rural livelihoods and stabilize food production across northern communities. The 6:15 news comes live from our studios in Douala with anchorman Kejang Henry at Tembeshu. With us on our respective platforms. For more news on Canal International, we begin from Yaounde. Muslim faithful across the Cameroon are today celebrating the Feast of Sacrifice. Today's celebration began with prayers in mosque and other prayer sites that were earmarked for the event. In Yaounde, the imams actually called for the faithful to be agents of peace and be law-abiding. The celebrations mark the intercessory prayers for peace during or before, during and after the presidential election. Ati Bonaventure reports from Yaounde.
Thousands of Muslim faithful gathered at the Chinga Islamic complex to pay reverence to Allah as part of celebrations to mark the Feast of Tabaski. Leading the prayers was Imam Abubakar Goigoi, who exhorted the faithful to emulate the humble and obedient character traits of Abraham by making sacrifice whenever need be without questioning. The faithful seized the occasion to pray for peace and unity in the country and for an end to social vices like corruption, tribalism, and organized crimes.
Country, under the leadership of His Excellency President Paul Biya, is to maintain peace. And we are in a particular moment of during and after those elections.
Organize themselves with Allah through continuous prayers. At the end of the prayers, the Muslim leader symbolically slaughtered a ram and have been called upon to shun all deviant behaviors as they go about celebrating the Tabaski.
It was the same peace during or before the economic capital was marked equally with intercessions. Details with Cynthia Lati.
A bright morning set the tone for a spiritual atmosphere as hundreds of Muslims gathered at the Bonanjo prayer ground to observe the Feast of Tabaski prayer. Religious authorities highlighted the profound spiritual significance of the Feast of Sacrifice.
Que nous exerçons dans la société.
At every level of society, whether as President of the Republic, journalist or citizen, we must remember that we will one day be held accountable by Christ. All our actions are judged by God, and we must strive to emerge victorious.
Ce sont des épreuves qu'il traite.
A message of peace resonated throughout the gathering, which was also attended by regional and local authorities, including the governor of the Littoral region. To Muslim faithful, the day holds deep meaning. Many describe it as a time of reflection, unity, and commitment to their faith.
It's a very great day. This is a year of where God answers our prayers, hopefully.
Also known as El Artadar, Tabaski comes 70 days after the end of Ramadan. It commemorates the Prophet Abraham's willingness to sacrifice his son as an act of obedience to God. The celebration emphasizes faith, sharing, and solidarity.
Meanwhile, in Bamera, northwest of Cameroon, worshippers launched a fundraising drive to build an Islamic complex to secure their prayer sites from encroachments. The event was equally marked by interfaith harmony, spiritual reflections, and community feasting. With calls from our northwest chief correspondent Annie Collins, Ambogladi's report.
Allahu Akbar.
Muslim faithful in Bamenda have used this year's Feast of the Ram to launch a fund drive to construct an Islamic complex in a bid to secure their prayer ground from encroachment. Praying at the usual sacred site at Old Town this Friday, June 6, the followers of Allah were joined by regional authorities led by Governor Adolphe Lele Lafrique.
We are living in an era where everybody wants others to sacrifice for him, but they don't want to sacrifice for anybody. That's why the Muslim Ummah of Bamenda decided to take their destiny in their hand so that they do what befit their majesty.
The fundraiser did not water down the religious aspect, as it recalls Abraham's acceptance to sacrifice his son Ishmael to Allah.
The meat is divided into 3 parts. One part is for you and your family. The other part is for neighbors. The other part you give to people that they are not able to do the sacrifice.
The only thing that the Muslims are going to do is to sacrifice. And to sacrifice, we should sacrifice for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are not calling on anybody to do any act of violence. We should be law-abiding. We should go back to our homes and sacrifice.
Persons earlier displaced by the security crisis have also been praying for a more peaceful society.
Without justice, there is no permanent peace. And love yourself as you love your neighbor. And let us be sincere in what we are doing, what we are saying. Let it be from the hearts.
Feasting continued at individual homes with a blend of Islamic and Christian jubilance.
Thank you very much, Ambo Gladys Dibang. Back to Yaounde, where panic swept through the Yaounde's Mvogada neighborhood this morning after a gas leak from a tanker truck caused explosions and devastating fire. It is reported that the explosion occurred while the tanker was out on a delivery assignment. Ati Bonaventure now picks up that story from Yaounde.
Panic and anxiety took center stage at the Mvogada market this Friday morning after a series of explosions from a gas depot.
Got
alerted by the first explosion. The proprietor tried to quench the fire with fire extinguisher, but he didn't succeed. Actually, what provoked the explosion was the use of water in the first place. The violent explosions led to people running helter-skelter in quest for help until the arrival of the firefighting brigade and forces of law and order.
Oui, je panique parce que l'incendie, ça fait 2 semaines que le dépôt.
We are in panic because 2 weeks ago this same depot caught fire and we only got safe thanks to the timely intervention of the firefighting brigade. We saw smoke coming out.
The fire that is now under control caused significant material damages, with numerous businesses completely destroyed. One of the onlookers got arrested for trying to divert a gas bottle.
Thanks very much, Ati Bonaventure. In response to the Newcastle disease threat, Cameroon has actually initiated a mass vaccination campaign targeting over 1 million birds. The effort aims to protect rural livelihoods and stabilize food production across the northern communities. Morindi reports.
A surge in respiratory illnesses among poultry in northern Cameroon has raised alarms over a potential outbreak of Newcastle disease, a highly contagious viral infection affecting birds.
La maladie de Newcastle est une maladie virale très contagieuse de la volaille.
Poultry owners report birds exhibiting labored breathing, persistent cough and eye discharge, classic signs of Newcastle disease. The virus, known for its rapid spread, can decimate flocks, leading to significant economic losses for small-scale farmers.
La mortalité est très élevée, qui peut atteindre même jusqu'à 100% de mortalité dans des élevages.
Dr. Abba Abdul Hakim, Regional Head of Veterinary Services, emphasizes the severity Newcastle disease is endemic in many regions and poses a contagious threat to poultry farming. Contact with infected birds, secretions, and contamination, most effective preventive measure alongside strict biosecurity practices.
The political scene, party leader Près, vous has actually unveiled plans to refresh the party's leadership and it's up. Details from our Yaounde bureau correspondent, Singam.
His chief Tabaski celebration, party officials answered Près, vous's call for a political gathering, a new era. Though not eligible for the upcoming presidential race, they are ready to throw weight on any candidate of their choice.
About the presidential candidate, that is clear. But the next election, like municipal and legislative, we have to be there. It's important for us.
Under the theme, the role of the Republican Forum in the upcoming presidential, regional, municipal and legislative elections, discussions were strategic and decisions decisive.
We'll choose one candidate.
But before looking towards the horizon, it was necessary to reorganize the base.
And we are reorganized our political bureau. We have the new member of this political bureau. We are preparing the next election, regional, municipal and legislative.
The party's executive bureau was renewed on this occasion, according to reports, and members will be officially installed in the upcoming days.
And the Faculty of Letters at the University of Douala has honored nearly 20 outstanding alumni in a landmark ceremony celebrating professional excellence and societal impact. The inaugural Étoile d'Or Award aims to inspire the current students and of course, reinforce the institution's legacy. Morindi.
Lil Pijul, a distinguished journalist from Canal International of Douala. These accolades recognizes her unwavering dedication, resilience, and professionalism in the field of journalism. Pijul's journey from a student at the faculty to a leading media figure serves as an inspiration to many inspiring journalists.
God will give us the strength to work and to shine.
The award ceremony held on June 5 celebrated close to 20 outstanding alumni who have excelled in various sectors. Among the honorees was Clarence Yongo, CEO of Logriot, a platform committed to reporting on women's issues. Yongo, also an alumni of the faculty, has dedicated her time in voluntarily training and mentoring of current students shaping the future of journalism in Cameroon. Notable mentions were made of other alumni, including artists Mimi and Stanley Eno, an award-winning rapper who has raised the flag of the faculty in the world of music.
Living this opportunity, being made a golden star is great, and it comes in a very, very important time where we are promoting the.
Today, I'm not just to show the way to the other who are just here.
The Dean of the faculty emphasized that this first edition of Étoile d'Or Awards aims to recognize former students who are excelling brilliantly and serve as an inspiration to thousands of others. Their achievements portray the professionalism of the faculty and how it has adapted to the day-to-day exigencies of various industries. The ceremony highlighted the significant impacts of the faculty's alumni across different sectors, showcasing the diverse path of success forged by its graduates.
Her own, she may not have brought home the Miss World crown, but she has actually and certainly won the hearts of too many. Cameroon's beauty queen, the nation with pride. Actually, he was greeted at the Douala International Airport on arrival by friends, fans, and family members.
A massive crowd turned out international airports. Friends, fans and family members gathered in numbers to show their admiration and celebration to the beauty queen who represented Cameroon with grace and elegance at Miss World in India.
Elle a mis beaucoup tout ce qu'elle a eu pour faire pour mériter cette couronne.
Ici, elle est considérée comme un monument au Cameroun.
Princesse ici m'inspire beaucoup de choses. C'est une femme remplie de valeurs.
C'est un travail de
Princess Isie, who stood out from the very first rounds for her charisma, eloquence, and sense of purpose, described the experience as an honor.
It was just amazing seeing how you give the same support to all the beauty queens that will go out there represent Cameroon, because it's very, very, very important.
Ranked among the top 20 most beautiful women in the world and feed in Africa, Princess Isie has etched Cameroon's name in gold in the history of Miss World. She is the third Cameroonian to reach the quarterfinals of the competition, but the first to shine in multiple challenge categories.
My adventure at Sun, it was so beautiful, and if I have to study back, I'll study back again, but now to come maybe with a higher achievement.
This is not her first time making Cameroon proud on the global stage. In November 2024, she also ranked among the top 20.
Congratulations to you, Prince Isie, and thanks, Sid Lauti, for that report. And drawing the cuttings for this edition of the 615 with me, Kejang Henry Atimba. Of course, you got information that the Muslim faithful across the world are today celebrating the Feast of the Ram. And of course, how Bamenda faithful or worshippers too are mobilizing to raise funds in order to build a permanent complex for that.